Gotta kick it off. Episode 114. I don't know whether to fully buy back into this team and what a season could be, or if this is just a flash in the bucket. I would like to believe the former, considering everything that you've heard in the marketing this week is Orlando is the hottest team in the MLS. Some people would probably argue that we might be the worst, but they come to Citi Field where we haven't been good for months and months and months, and we knock them off in pretty cozy fashion.
Yeah, I was telling you before the game that I was work got the better of me today for sure in terms of energy levels and being able to stay alive afterwards. And so I literally woke up at 7:43 right after kickoff and instantly turned the game on, and it was a snooze fest, honestly, for like 30 minutes. The first 30 minutes were absolutely horrendous from both teams, just sleeping, not really fun to watch at all. And then from the point of the penalty, it really just kicked off. I believe the game really started at that point. Obviously, there's the weird moments between Santi and Munsef and Ledesma arguing over the penalty and things like that, but honestly, I think after, not to get too far ahead of myself, but after the Talles moment, I think if there's anything there, that's all squashed.
And we could just hop around. I think the biggest moment in that game, there's probably two of them and one leads to the other, is Richie going down is horrible for us. I don't remember the last time we had to have a player get stretchered off the field. Even Keaton last week was able to at least lean on trainers to get himself off the field. Right. I don't know what that means for Richie. I didn't think it was that bad when it happened. Maybe Richie's legs were just gone and he was like, I'm just going to let these guys carry me, or what it was. But
I think what it is he's going to wake up and, he's going to go to sleep with a fat, like baseball-sized swollen ankle. Mm-hmm. I think that's really all it's going to be. I don't think it's anything too serious. When that happens and the swelling starts, there's a pain to that you don't want to immediately be playing on that. So I'm hoping that that's the case. I hope that he's good to go because, like the announcers were saying, our midfield is starting to dwindle in terms of numbers.
But what it led to was, you texted me during the game, probably Cushing's best sub. At the time, it was just on paper because we didn't know what was to come from Talles in the game, but his best sub in months.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Like, everybody's been calling for it all week. The pregame presser for this game, the postgame of the Red Bulls, and even a little bit in the pregame of the Red Bulls, which we could talk about as well because I don't think we have since our last episode, but were the media, I don't want to use the word slamming because it sounds like there might have been some disrespect implied, but like he got 3 to 4 Talles specific, why is he not playing questions? Why is he not getting minute questions? And like he had to do the dance of trying to fend those off from the media. And right. I think at one point he said we have Talles, Santi. That's what he said with Santi. He was like, so he was like, who do you want me to bench then? You want me to bench Santi? Because you guys have been asking me to play Santi.
Right.
So he's like, in a perfect world, not a perfect world, but he goes, we have enough attackers to field 11 attackers. You can't do that in soccer.
Right.
So it does get to a point where it's tough to build a lineup when you have a lot of these talented guys. But it's good that he was forced into the sub because I think it was going to come a lot later than a lot of us were expecting based on some of those prize answers.
Right.
Because he implied at times that Talles was playing 90 minutes tonight.
No, not implied. Like I was just going to say, he flat out said that Talles was going to play 90 minutes, and that's I was going to text you. I didn't feel like being petty in the moment anymore because I already got a good point off with it. The fact that he could have sat on it, he could have put in Hack, or he could have been put in Nico, and just sat on it. But like I told you in that moment, I think that would have either lost us the game or at least had us only leaving with a point. But yeah, I think he literally flat out said that this guy was supposed to play 90 minutes, and then he kind of comes in an emergency situation, which is not ideal. And then immediately you see the link up with Munsef and Talles, which looked beautiful, but then he just falls. And I'm like, oh my God, we've been waiting for this, and this man just literally, his body folded onto the floor.
Well, I think there were a lot of tweets deleted over the course of those like 2 to 3 minutes where Talles does that, and honestly all he has to do in that moment, and all it is a lack of confidence, obviously. I think this was his first goal that he scored since April 22nd, which is
crazy.
It almost sounds fake when you say it out loud, but it's obviously a lack of confidence not to just drive his foot near post through that ball, and instead he tries to get cute with it and move it around the guy, and he just falls over. And like I said, I think a lot of tweets had to get deleted because 3 minutes later we have Air Magico, whatever you want to call him, from beautiful Jasson ball that Jasson was playing since minute 1. Since minute 1, and I think we finally arrived. I know as a podcast we've always talked about Jasson and how much passion he brings to the game, and his form has obviously picked up to kind of match the passion that we've always seen. And the community in general has been talking highly of him, but like he far and away has earned that spot. And it sucks it took Matty yellow card accumulation to get him this start. That's hard to say. That's hard to level.
Yeah.
But he was servicing those balls all night. It was crazy. Like Santi had 2 or 3 of them in the first half. Baki obviously had that skied header off perfect Jasson delivery. That kid has to be the hot hand that's ridden until the wheels fall off. We have 5 games left. There's no more taking chances.
Yeah. No, even if you have to bench Santi, because I don't think he was particularly good today. Outside of winning the pen, he really didn't do anything. And that's not to... Because I realized, and I texted it to you, it's like, once you see that moment after Tales scores, and he's like breaking down, and it means so much to him, and the team knows how much it means to him, and they're supporting him in that moment, like... I had that moment where I sat there and it's like I was so happy for the goal, but I was so sad that like again we allowed ourselves to forget that these dudes are human.
Yeah,
it just sucks. It sucks that you forget, honestly, because you're so passionate about the club and the results. You forget kind of the human aspect of it, and I think that was a great reminder today.
That was probably, if nothing else major ends up coming from the season, that's probably one of the top 2 to 3 moments from this season that we'll most likely remember
forever.
When you look back what happened in the 2023 season, like that would be a moment that would stand out. That and like Schno and Tales fighting with each other, and flipping each other off, and
just the 2 sides of man.
Yeah, but to the way that he kind of just collapses it's like all of, I don't know what the
weight on his back. Really.
Yeah, I don't want to apply any emotions to him, but putting ourselves in his shoes, like the amount of probably disappointment he might have in himself, disappointment that he probably feels from the fan base and from his teammates, even if it's not there, and like you said, pressure to... He's been the guy for it. Like we talked about earlier in the season, even though he's in bad form, every single marketing poster is Tales.
He's our guy in terms of MLS.
And to collapse like that, and he just buries his head in the grass, it was a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
And he's earned it. Cushing has said to us, and that's what the whole 90-minute thing was about. Tales is going to get 90 minutes. He's been working his ass off in training, so he's earned it. And he came in and he did something with it. So fair play to Tales. I hope he's past the poor form that we saw before. I think he probably deserved the benching for a while, but it obviously went on a little bit too long. And now he's back to show when him and Baki are together.
Yeah, that it could be dangerous.
It could be an issue.
I just think going to that part of it where we're talking about Jasson, Steph, and Tales, like that combination genuinely could be very, very good. And I thought Santi was a lot better coming from deeper in the midfield than playing as a 10 or playing as a winger. I was surprised by that. And so I think, honestly, you take that lineup that finished the game, not like the subs with Olenich and Kufre and Hack and stuff like that. Like those guys were there really to be defenders and close the game out.
Yeah.
But the team that was in there to score the second goal to really win us the game, like that team needs to be the one that we ride going forward.
Yeah. I don't know how I don't think you can chalk it up any different way. We had some injuries. Obviously, Keaton's out. If he comes back, you probably do want him in the 11.
But you don't need to force him.
It's tough to find a spot, and I think somebody that we've talked about has looked a lot poorer than we usually see from him, being Sands. I think he
showed up crazy tonight.
Him and Pereira, a little duo. I don't know if you want to call it a double pivot, because Pereira obviously explores the field in ways that we have not seen a midfielder on our team do in a long time, if ever.
Yeah, really, Maxi is the only one that I can remember that's really all over the place like that.
And he's more athletic than Matt, because he's not a 8-year-old whatever he is.
With one knee at this point.
Yeah.
Not to be rude, but that's what it is.
But him and Sands together is a scary midfield for other teams. And I don't know, maybe then you find a place for Keaton and taking Santi off the field. I don't think that's out of the equation. We've seen Keaton play. I mean, we've seen Keaton rolled out as striker. So Cam is not out of the discussion if you're trying to find a way to get this guy on the field. But this was a very optimistic performance. I still don't think I'm ready to swerve from what we said last episode about where we think this season's going.
Well, last episode, it was similar to like Doom and Gloom episode that we had before in times past.
It was after the break. It was after Vancouver just not going our way, and
and we wouldn't even know that the derby wouldn't really go our way either. Then we would look really, really poor in it. So I don't know. I think what today proved is that we could show up and beat any team anytime, and that bodes well for somebody in the playoffs. And I think that our history in the playoffs, now we really don't have many of the players that have ever been in the playoffs with us anymore, but the club's history, people aren't going to like it, but Nick Cushing's experience being in the playoffs, if we were to make it in, I think anything's possible. I think we can beat any team on any day. And if we make it in, I don't think that we're going to get first rounded. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I think it comes down to us playing our best game. I think, like you just said, if we can keep our own destiny in any one-off game, like when our team is playing at its best, we have what it takes to at least contend with any other team in the league. And Orlando, even earlier in the broadcast, they're in world-beating form. I think they have, out of their last 6, they have five wins in the last 6.
Yeah, and really, really good away form.
Yeah, and they're a chippy team too, and those are the types of things when you get into the playoffs, like even teams that might typically be pushovers, like every team becomes like
a chippy team.
Yeah, a chippy team, because it really matters then. Yeah. It's like one or you go home. So I don't know. I agree with you, but I think we're also tempering our expectations because the hopes have already been high, and it's a tough road to the playoffs. But a lot of results went our way. I think. I don't know.
DC with the draw. I mean, it's better than them winning.
And then Charlotte was about to win, and Philly tied at the death of it. So that helped us a lot. But the real issue is we have Chicago, Charlotte, Miami, Red Bulls, and Toronto, and all of them have at least one game in hand on us. And most of them, or not most of them, but a few of them have 2 games in hand. And we're pretty much, if they were to win those games, they're passing us in points. So it's an area where it's not totally in our hands. We can win out, and if they win out too, it doesn't matter. Right. So we need some help. Funny enough, Miami leapfrogged the Red Bulls. That's hilarious. As work on their ascent to the playoffs. But they're in a way worse position than us. We have to go play them. So that is going to say a lot about what's going on.
Messi and Alba both were subbed off early today. So
apparently for injury.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. And Twellman was talking about how he was talking to Tata, and he's just trying to go like ultra game management mode on everybody, which I don't know. I don't know if it makes a ton of sense when you have to win every single game.
Yeah, but if you limp into the playoffs like we've seen teams do in the past, it's just nothing you could do.
Although that's what I was thinking at the start of our game too, as watching the game in one hand and on Twitter in the other hand, and I see Columbus Crew, Cucho Hernandez has a hat trick within 23 minutes.
Yeah. We don't have any. I mean,
at that point,
Tallis could be that guy if he's really in form, but that's really it.
But at that point, as I'm watching Orlando and it's only 0-0, and like you said, the game is dragging at that point, only 20 minutes in, I am like, so we get into the playoffs as a wounded animal, and the hungry lion like shows up. It's like, oh great, I have like appetizers to start, which is worrying, but yeah, I think you summed it up. On our best day, we're as good as anybody's best day.
Definitely, for sure.
So next up we have Toronto. I believe that's at RBA, and then we're done with New York games. We're done with New York games. So that sucks for us because we won't be able to make it to any. RBA is not a thing that we subscribe to, and not a thing that we've ever even considered doing.
Yeah, never. And we won't. Yeah, none of those other cities. Well, Miami won't allow us.
I don't see myself flying to Florida to watch an L.
No,
not enough.
If they confirm Messi's out, I'll hop the fence to watch it.
Yeah, it's tough enough driving the hour and a half to an L. So the whole TSA flying.
It's really back. It's only like 2-hour flight.
Yeah, I don't know.
Comfy.
Only 2.
Probably.
Okay.
I think Texas is like 3. So. Quick math.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, if we can, some grace of God, get a press pass, then it'd be great to meet Messi. But the way that the schedule is laid out, so we have Toronto below us, DC below us, and Chicago below us. Those are massive games because all 3 of those, well, all 4 of the teams, Miami too, they're all below us. So in a way, we can take away 3 of the points that they could have to try to leapfrog us. So it's going to be interesting at this point. And it's been at this point for a while, but it's a win-out scenario.
Has to be. What's weird is a lot of those teams, we benefit from them losing. And so we might as well be in the playoffs. This might as well be our four games for a championship.
We have like an 11-game playoff run.
Yeah.
That started like 4 games.
Yeah.
A 15-game playoff run. So yeah, we'll have to figure it out. And then I guess maybe in terms of a little bit of housekeeping for the pod.
Yeah, obviously we're not in the beautiful, beautiful studio that we built.
Yeah. Audio last week, if y'all hung with us and the crickets, we appreciate it.
Yes.
Can't
happen.
Yeah. Well, when you're in a brand new studio,
bad program.
You don't even know that the window's open, and you've now invited a bunch of bugs to talk on your podcast.
Well, not only that, but I think it was like we had so many things on the checklist. We had so many things go right.
Yeah. That
we were like, oh, we're done. We're good.
Yeah.
And there was maybe 3 windows open.
What was like? Yeah, we got to put the.
It was like surround sound cricket world. Like we let every window stay open.
Yeah.
I mean, it's screwed open.
Well, you're right. Because we had a brand new studio, first episode recording.
Yeah.
You have the checklist you're going through. It's like, all right, we got 1, 2, we got all 3 cameras on.
Lights all work.
All the lights on. We got the lights behind us.
The set is perfectly set up.
I think moments before we pressed record, we had to reinstall the scarves on the wall
because they fell.
Those are the ones that you saw fall mid-episode.
Scared
the shit out of him.
Yeah.
It's still a work in progress, but I think audio is probably king. So making sure that sounds good is why we're sitting here today.
Yeah, definitely.
So that'll be straightened out, and then I know we just wrapped up to something season.
But it
with
actually,
the studio.
What's crazy is it literally, we finished and it picked up crazier than ever.
Well, that's the thing about up to something seasons is just when fans and even hosts think they've wrapped up to something season, they're like, now we have something even bigger that we're up to.
Yeah, possibly the biggest thing that we've been involved in for the club ever.
Yeah.
And something that just is super exciting to bring to everyone that's listening here because they're all involved.
Yeah. So something comes soon. Nothing confirmed yet. So this might just end up in a heap of recordings where nothing ever came from it.
Yeah. Let's hope it doesn't get politicked.
That's what I'm trying to tell myself because I'll be upset.
This is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. But potentially, so big news to come. Stay tuned. You don't have to wait too long, but I'm not going to give you any kind of timetable on it. And there's already a lot of
information out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of information out there, just in the secret channels with the powers that be. So stay tuned. If you stuck around this long, hopefully that's a little nugget for those that listen to the whole episode. And I think that's it. On our end.
Yeah.
Probably an episode to come after Toronto, because then I know we're back to full week, no midweeks or anything. So yeah,
well, for that game as well, we should have at least clarity. Not only that, but audio fix as well, and back to studio grind.
Yes.
You'll get to see our beautiful faces in a beautiful place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, back to the place where we're getting fit for some. But yeah, that's episode 114.
I was going to say, people might have too many pieces to the puzzle.
Nah.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. 114 number's getting pretty high. I don't think we talked about that in a while, but
yeah,
churning these things out, as tough as it's been for us and all the media, not necessarily to do something we enjoy, but to go through the same roller coaster that has been this season, it's been still gratifying to get on the mics and share thoughts with everybody and have people listening and watching too. So
definitely. You guys help us sleep.
Yeah.
As much as I can.
I was going to say, you
minutes.
don't even sleep. You don't.
11 minutes.
There's no oxygen getting there all night.
I need help.
Yeah. If you
know a doctor, let me know.
I was going to say, if anybody has not even a CPAP, because I'm told that's for regular people.
It's too far gone.
There's a certain thing where, yeah, when you're too far gone, apparently from what I've been told by you've been informed by a medical professional.
Correct, yes.
When sleep apnea is so bad, they give up on the CPAP and they go to a thing called a BiPAP.
Yep.
So when he has a BiPAP, we'll give you that address and you can
just mail her down.
Yeah, mail her over to us.
Yeah, give me some sleep, man.
Yeah, he needs the oxygen for up to something season. He needs it.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Well, let me not give too much, but up to some season helps my whole life. So
yeah, so that's that.
It needs to happen.
That's 114, and we'll catch you guys after we put 3 past Sean?
17
past Sean. All right, we'll do that.
Yeah.
See you guys in the next one.
Peace.